most welcome to the Voice of Evolution. In 2020, this world is changing big time, and we are overriding a lot of the old, and so we need to reinvent new means to satisfy personal well-being, which is very important in order to override the old mental, psychological, problematic static, physical static that are needed. And so what is overlooked essentially are many people moving into or undergoing surgery, cosmetic surgery, other kinds of surgery, no matter what, but the before and after care programs, and not at this time as elaborate as could be, and that could bring big changes in to people's life as we are reinstitutionalizing, let's say, community building, well building with the body of beauty actually, and not only building an architecture in the outside world, but also the new architecture of a beautiful body in the inner world that expresses new consciousness in the outer world. So beyond the old standards, actually, I created new ethics that are very important, that are based on the principles of health, of wealth, equality, global economics, go out within the home, go out within family members, community members, children, go out, and beauty and new life is what we want everywhere. And so we definitely need re-education that streams along new health, and especially here where people have had surgery no matter what level. So I have been studying anatomy, biology, science, the research within the cellular construction, and the knowledge how to bring that flow of healing through for more than 15 years. And so I specialize in re-encoding and bringing the best of health back in the blood circulation, the breathing system, the regrowth of the nervous system actually after surgery, but also what I'm most passionate about is actually the experiences people get from different forms of consciousness, and so they can embrace their true nature. And the capability of human beauty is so large that oftentimes it truly stands in the way of making decisions, sometimes making the decision of undergoing surgery, be it cosmetic surgery. Many people are really, really hungry to get rid of fear, panic, self-sabotage, abuse mentality, psychological invasions. There are so many levels into the lower fields of consciousness due to lack of knowledge essentially in societal avenues. And so I think it's very important to the present day that to offer programs that may prevent them from taking decisions such as plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery, healing surgery, because if you decipher consciousness from phenomena, we discover that we can today assist people truly to change their consciousness, to change their decisions and lifestyle after and before any surgery. So in which people can really restore their ethical, individual and moral values essentially, which is very, very important. So growth is actually evolution. And so the most important issue that people could deal with is education in the breathing system, because when the breathing system gets stuck and doesn't flow, it is not easy for the body to get into a repair modem. And also there is a lot of knowledge, because stuck breathing and bacterial feeding is actually main cause of any illness, any repair after surgery, and including the mental, psychological, emotional dense pattern that are carried over actually through foods, through lower senses, through the interaction with other people, the environment, animal products, name it, anything that is not adjusted to the several levels of healing that can be offered to the body, that wants to get in the highest capacity of a powerful, beautiful body. That starts out with the breath and getting the breathing system in a new high level circulation, in which the cellular construction feels the breath in the bones, in the muscular construction, pardon me, in the circulation system, and even where you have stuck patterns in the muscular content, as many people suffer from muscular atrophy and many more problematic static. So the first process is actually getting people into yeah, and the re-education of believing in themselves and detoxing essentially from deeply embedded fears, frustrations, angers, irritations. There is so many levels, especially resistances to anything that is new. If we can eliminate resistances, we can open people's consciousness to the belief that they have a high capacity in their breathing system to accelerate healing on every level. And so I think furthering that and breaking down the old recycling patterns actually will bring great comfort, and even opening up the circulation to a higher level before surgery will assist also the aftercare programs, and that is actually moving beyond traumatic disorders that people suffer from, mental issues that have never been educated. So it can be broken down into many, many levels. What I've witnessed in my individual sessions, as I assisted a lot of people after cosmetic surgery, but also heart surgery, and especially with strokes in the blood circulation, and which was very severe. So many entities, they suffer from physical pain after surgery, and that is commonly in the company of mental and emotional distress, and which is overlooked by the entity itself. Sometimes it is overlooked by family members or people living with that particular entity. So I specialize definitely in recognizing signs of anxiety connected to pain in patients after surgery, and providing them with methods they can apply easily during the day, at certain times in the morning or at night, for dealing with these issues, and so which in turn could minimize actually the unintentional consequences that are not necessary at all, such as, for example, drug dependency. So um, I am uh, a light technology specialist that can offer patients and families alternative therapies based on the patient's sheer interest. So, not forcing anything but adapting a program to the individual, as no single persona is the same, has different levels of loving something. And when you love to do something and working with your body while it is repairing, reconstructing, then of course your mentality, your psychology needs to move with it. And so I offer elimination techniques through the biological cellular construction, music, art, therapy, in addition to medication and that are being prescribed actually. So mental, emotional pain oftentimes rises in an extreme, unexpected way, and so or people do not know how to to deal with it, and oftentimes resist talking to a physician. So I have like more than 15 years experiences in eliminating issues like stress. Stress before and after surgery, causing what? Causing, number one, is fatigue, difficulty in taking new decisions because the body is in renewal mode, which is very, very important and not to be underestimated actually. So people get loss of memory sometimes. They get eating disorders because there is some psychological issue going on which they avoid to deal with, and that can be handled very easily when deciphering what it is really about. So uh, sometimes we get a slow motion into speech because the nerves have been hit in, and so feeling of anxiety, stress, even guilt, or a combination of nausea, insomnia, there's so much, dry mouth, headaches, name it, high blood pressure, trembling, uncontrollable crying, difficulty in concentrating, feeling tense, jumpy, and getting a shortness of breath. That is the worst that could happen. And on the other side, we have a lot of psychological trauma that could pass through that avenue as well, before or after, essentially after surgery, which could be shock, denial, disbelief, rejection even. Well, there's nothing going on in the beautification of surgery. So confusion, difficulty in holding concentration or focus on self. And so what rises from that is really anger, irritations, mood swings, again, anxiety and withdrawal, feeling like people may feel hopeless and sad. And so there is a whole range of physical symptoms that may rise from that as well, that are not necessary at all either. And so addressing that with the mental issues could bring a high level relief, could bring the fun, the pleasure back of where people started out before taking the decision. And that is so beautiful, assisting people to giving them exercises, mental exercises, to meditational alignment, because oftentimes in the physical symptoms may cause like edginess, agitation, aches, pain, especially muscular tension. And so all these issues can be addressed by an overall program that assists people through yoga, dance, muscular power training along a mental training, so which assists the tissues and the nerves to regrow in a balanced way to the individual program actually that suits that particular entity. So, and that may go along with a dietary support, with fasting, with a joyful training into the arts or dance, vegan diets, an immunity a boost system. There is so many levels we could move into, and so such programs can move like I could give one program a day or one overall day training in which you have the mental training, the release of all these psychological, mental, and physical um, issues. And so creating a program with one day a week and supporting that like one-on-one sessions or repetitive weekly sessions or monthly sessions or a year program in order to assist the body to reside in its well-being where the comfort zone augments, and so you get into that joyful happy feeling at all times, and that supports all your decisions, so no guilt, no nothing can stand in the way with that. And that is so wonderful because people get the option to talk about it, to express themselves in a very secure environment, and that is very, very beneficial and necessary in 2020 to really move these programs up for the first time over here in Europe. For those interested also, I'll continue my individual sessions for now, and will open up soon those weekly programs specializing before and after surgery. So should you have any questions, please shoot. I'm here to answer them. I studied nothing but anatomy, biology, the science within the cellular construction, and do know the light scientific acceleration in which the repair can reconstruct.